Good evening, everybody. My name is Zach Ford. I am chair of the Dusty Baker Sacramento SABR chapter, and I'm very glad that all of you could join us this evening. We have a great meeting scheduled for this evening with Micah Franklin, manager of the Oakland Ballers, the Pioneer League. We're really excited about that. Just a few housekeeping items. Please make sure that you mute yourself if you are not speaking. There will be plenty of opportunities to ask Micah some questions afterwards. Also, just a few announcements. First off, I don't see Tom Crisp on here, but I do want to congratulate him. He was inducted into the Sacramento Area Baseball Hall of Fame on Saturday evening. One of our active members that's at least a lot of our in-person stuff. Not able to make all of our virtual stuff, but congratulations to Tom Crisp. He's been a huge asset to our chapter for many years, and I'm glad that he is being recognized by the Sacramento Area Baseball Hall of Fame. A few other things. We had a short meeting, the five of us amongst chapter leadership of Dusty Baker and also Lefty O'Doul prior to this. And we decided to start having a regularly scheduled meeting the third Thursday evening of each month, starting in February at 7 o'clock. So 15th of February, March 21st, so forth. And then we're going to start filling in speakers over the next, as time goes. But we wanted to at least set those dates and try and get things out so we're not doing month to month like we have been recently. We also will have opportunities where one of the things I really want to do is go to a couple Ballers games. That should be fun. Plan some carpools there, and you guys will meet up with the Lefty O'Doul Bay Area chapter folks over there. Obviously, we got some tickets to some Giants games as well. I'd like to thank Tony Oliver for giving me the deal on that. I think I was able to get another 3 or 4 games for just like $5 tickets or $10 tickets. There'll be some opportunities for us to go to some Giants games, also some River Cats games as well. Pretty soon we'll be scheduling the spring luncheon. I'm hoping to have that sometime in March. And then we'll also have the Little Fenway summer meeting, which will become a regular staple for us, hopefully sometime in June. We'll be able to hang out in Dennis's little memorabilia museum, and then play a little bit of wiffle ball out on Little Fenway, which is 25% replica field of Fenway Park, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome. First off, I've referenced it in emails, prior meetings, but I have both of them on today, and I really would like to just welcome Tony Oliver and Steve Heath, who are joining me with the Dusty Baker Sacramento chapter leadership. Steve, if you could do a little your elevator pitch as far as who you are, and then Tony afterwards. It looks like Tony stepped away for a moment, but
I have no recollection of that. Next. Oh.
Steve is old.
That's right. It's an age thing. I have been a bat boy for the Sacramento Solons, which is why the background picture looks like it does. I have been a sports writer. I have been a would-be author, still trying to get book published. I am a contributor to a book coming out from SABR called One Win Wonders. It's due anytime. And just having fun being part of the chapter. So thanks for asking.
Awesome. Tony, are you back? I know you had to step away for a split moment. If you had a moment to just kind of share who you are to the group. Looks like Tony has still stepped away for a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and, but I'm definitely lucky and happy to have Tony join us as the vice chair. And he's been a great asset to our chapter for many years. And so I'm happy to have him on leadership. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Marlene. She'll do a few announcements for her chapter, and then I'll introduce Micah and we'll get the party started.
Hi, it's so wonderful to see you all. It just makes me smile. I've not seen some of you in a very long time, whether on Zoom or in person. So For Steve and me, we just welcome you to Sabre Day. This is what, the 10th Sabre Day? Sabre Day, Micah, is when SABR chapters, Society of American Baseball Research chapters all over the country and the world celebrate baseball. And it's the weekend between the end of football and Super Bowl. So we're excited to have another wonderful Sabre Day program with you joining us, Micah. A couple of reminders. SABR has changed its policy around the print version of the Baseball Research Journal. You've probably seen a lot of that in emails, but I just want to remind you, as SABR members, you'll get a digital version of the Baseball Research Journal. But if you want print, and they're still going to make print available, you can subscribe to the journal for, I think it's $7 an issue. So, and that's twice a year. So you can go to the SABR website or contact me and I'll find the information and get it to you. I also want to remind you of the many wonderful conferences that are coming up. The 9 conference is in Phoenix in March from the 6th to 9th. Analytics, SABR Analytics is also in Phoenix during spring training. The Jerry Malloy Conference is at the Baseball Hall of Fame this summer in the beginning of June. SABR itself, our conference, is in Minnesota in August. The Cooperstown Symposium is at the end of May in Cooperstown. And the Virtual Women in Baseball Conference, it's co-sponsored by the IWBC and SABR, will be held in September this year. So unless Steve wants to add anything, we all welcome you to Sabre Day. It's just really wonderful to see so many of you joining us. Thanks again for spending some time with us. Steve? Okay, back to Zach and to Micah.
All right. Well, I have the honor of introducing a great guy, Micah Franklin, who is the incoming manager of the new Oakland Ballers of the Pioneer League. I'm excited that he's able to join us and share a little bit about his background and also about what we have in store for Oakland Baller fans, new Oakland Baller fans in 2024. I was very excited to see Micah take this role. Admittedly, I'll do a little shameless plug there. Micah was one of my first supporters, one of the first ball players that agreed to be interviewed for my book called Up. So when I saw that he was getting this gig, I was pretty excited, and I've been enjoying following him on social media and the Oakland Ballers, and I'm really looking forward to what this year has in store. So just to get started, let's hear a little bit about yourself, Micah. You had a great baseball career. It's continuing playing career, many years, and then you've done some scouting and some coaching. Let us know a little bit about your background.
Yeah, first of all, I'm honored to be here. I didn't know it was about Sabre Day, so I just learned about Sabre Day. I think that's pretty cool, actually, and actually being the guest on here. So thank you guys for having me for that. So I get to come back to the Bay Area. We're in Oakland Ballers, and where my whole journey of baseball began. I was a vendor for the Giants and the A's as a kid. Then I went to Lincoln High School. I got drafted out of Lincoln High School in the city in San Francisco. Went on to play 15 years professionally. I got lucky enough to get a chance to go to the big leagues and got to get into Zach's book, which I think is really cool. And I love what you wrote. That was cool. I had an opportunity to play 2 years in Japan, 2 years in Korea, winter balls, twice in Dominican Republic, Mexico, Venezuela. So I had the opportunity to go a lot of different places and see a lot of different cultures and just really experience. And it's been amazing. I met my wife on that journey with 3 children, 3 girls. So baseball's been a huge part of my life. After playing, I went into the private world for a little bit and had 3 finance companies that did black cars and limousines in New York. But I missed baseball so much, I came back. I was a scout for the Diamondbacks for 5 years, and then Seattle as a major league scout for 3, advancing. Then I went back after that and started coaching, and I was a hitting coach with the Diamondbacks. I came back to the Diamondbacks, my 4th trip, because I played with them in AAA twice. So fourth time with the Diamondbacks, and then went to the Nationals for a few years as a hitting coach there, the minors. And the opportunity to come to the Ballers was presented to me, and I jumped on that opportunity.
So tell us about how that kind of materialized. It's kind of an interesting dynamic going on in Oakland. I'm very happy that the Ballers are joining the Pioneer League and are going to provide baseball fans an option, an alternative in 2024. Tell me a little bit about how that kind of materialized, how you became manager of the Ballers.
It happened fast. So right around the end of October, beginning of November, I just got a phone call and they asked, are you interested in being with the Ballers? And Daryl Brand called me, and I said, what? Who? There's an Oakland team, the Oakland Ballers. I said, what league are they going to play in? He said they're going to play in the Pioneer League. And I said, wait a second. I can't. I'm too old to be getting on these buses for 24 hours to go play a game. He said, hey, I don't know any of the details. I'll have them call you. The next day, I got a call from Don Wakamatsu, who's a senior advisor, senior VP, baseball ops and front office. And I think everyone knows Don Wakamatsu. His name speaks for himself in this game. He's tremendous, has done so many things. He's a former Bay Area guy. And he presented this opportunity to start this team in Oakland Ballers. And they told me about it. And within 5 minutes, I said, this is awesome. I want to be a part of this. So they did some background, and a few days later, they offered me the job. I jumped on it, and it's all working out perfect. My mom actually has a house that I grew up in. She used to rent it out, and it's empty right now. So I'm actually going to live in that house. So I get to see my brother, my sister-in-law, my two nephews, my mom, all the time for 5 months. And I'm excited about that. Really excited.
That's awesome. So that's just a few months ago. Tell me about how the last few months have been. It's got to be a little bit of a whirlwind, right?
Whirlwind, I'll say the least. We hit the ground running. The front office, Paul, the owners, Brian, outstanding, awesome, really awesome people. And they get it. They're from the area. They want a team there. They understand how the new market and everything works, whether it's social media or so many avenues to put this thing together. And my job with Tyler Peterson, assistant VP, and Don, we had to build a team. So we started hitting the phones, and shockingly, I didn't really realize the effect of MLB now getting rid of rounds 21 to 50. It really had a lot of really, really good players now didn't get drafted. And that's why they do have this partner league. It's no longer independent league. It's called partner leagues now. And we're one of them. And we're really the first stage of a partner league where we're those kids, because of our rules, we're those kids who don't get drafted, usually would get drafted in 21 through 50, now playing our league. Our league has a little bit of rules. So you can only played organizational professional ball or independent ball, now partner league ball, for 2+ years. So it's 30 games for a position player and 30 games. In 15, he would be eligible. But if he played 31, 31, 31, 30, whatever it is, he would be ineligible in our league and have to go to the other leagues.
So tell me about I see these, these signings popping up on, Twitter, social media that the Ballers. How does that process kind of work? Are there particular scouts, or they're reaching out to you, or how is that? Since it's a little bit different process, how are you shaping up the team?
Yeah. So before we got the team, and like I said, our owners are smart, our media and department, and they realized when the good time to have our release was. But yet we were still in the background able to call players and talk to players and tell them we're the Oakland Ballers. Why don't you play with us? And they're like, they're looking all over the internet. You're like, yeah, right. Who are you guys? So, through my own social media or anything else, I would say, hey, why don't you look me up on Instagram or any social media? You'll probably see who I am. you can Google Don Wakamatsu, you're really going to find out who he is. And you know, they had to take our word for it that we're actually are a team. So we did sign some players before the release. And once we announced, it was, you know, every single day, 5, 6, 7 players trying to contact myself, the team, or and it was unbelievable. But you know, we looked through a lot of programs, top college program, top players who probably should have gotten drafted but didn't. And we made phone calls and we picked a pretty good team. Position wise, we're pretty loaded. Still got to get some pitchers.
And obviously, I think that, you know, just the leadership that you guys put together provides a lot of credibility as well. What, just on that coaching staff, you got what, 5 major leaguers, something like that now. And I, you know, see that interesting JT Snow story that floated around a couple of weeks ago. So tell me about how the you know, leadership of the team's kind of coming together too.
I mean, the coaching staff is unbelievable. First of all, it starts with Don. That's at the top. Top starts with Walk. We can ask Walk stuff that he's been through. It's awesome. It's really cool. And you have JT Snow. I mean, are you kidding me? You know, what else do we need to say? It's JT Snow, and he gets it. He's not like, yeah, I'm JT Snow. No, he wants to be part of this, and that was awesome. He reached out to us, and as soon as we heard, me and Walk said to me, we were like, yeah, let's go, baby. So yeah, JT's there. And Aaron Miles, same thing. Once when we launched, Aaron's like, hey, I would love to be part of something like this. And Aaron's got just like JT, the passion that he has is unbelievable. He's like, hey, we can do this. What about this? And we're working on that. We'll get there, you know. But yeah, he's awesome. And then we have Ray King. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, the guy comes in as a bull out of the bullpen, you know, and he's going to teach these pitchers so much about, hey, strike one, strike two, understanding, you know, different areas of the game, how to prepare. And it's the same thing with JT. The conversations that are going to go on here are just gonna blow away when organizations have, you know, some guys they hire because it's way cheaper, but they don't have stories and history. Because everything I've learned from people in my own experiences. Everything JT, you're talking about, it goes all the way down. Same with myself. It goes down to the Willie Mayeses, the Hank Aaron's, from Dusty Baker to the Willie McGee's to the Barry Bonds. Those stories go with their experiences, they're talking, and then it goes to us from our experiences, what we've heard in the past. And baseball doesn't stop. We still do the things that the game first started with. We still do those things. And that's what's awesome about the game. And right now, we're having a lot of organizations don't actually have that. They have guys that don't have that history because it didn't get passed to them. So unfortunately, some of that's missing right now.
Mm-hmm. So your season starts towards the end of May, and it looks like your first home game is the beginning of June. You know, tell me about a little bit how the next 3.5, 4 months it's going to be. If you think the last few months have been crazy, I imagine the next few would be pretty intense for you too.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of things going on in the background to get this up and running in time for us to have that home game and everything working. But whether the kinks will be out and we will have a home game, and it will be a lot of fun. And it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. And you're looking at what the Raimondi Park, is that kind of up in the air between Laney and Raimondi now?
Yeah, I don't know the final answer, but
Okay.
I think without saying it, yeah, I think it was in the paper the other day. It was on the, yeah, it was. I think Raimondi is an awesome opportunity for us,
Mm-hmm.
and that's above my pay grade. But I would be really, really excited if it was, and we could help rebuild and revise and just, you know, put energy into that area as Oakland, and have a team. And it can really, baseball always seems to do that for communities. I've watched it and it does it.
That would be beautiful. And as I referenced earlier, you know, Raimondi is a name That's pretty important to the Bay Area and Oakland as far as the old Oakland Oaks and baseball history in Oakland. So that would be a very special meeting. So well, tell me kind of a little bit about just what can we expect at an Oakland Ballers game? How is it going to be? How's Pioneer League going to be a little bit different as far as play or location or style? How's that the Pioneer League kind of set up to where what can we expect out of the Oakland Ballers?
Okay, so I'll say here's where it'll be very similar to what you're used to right now in Oakland, that you might not know the names of the players when they come. But I mean, that's just, but they still go out there and give it everything they got. And that,
Mhm.
that is what we are going to do. We are going to go out there. We are going to bunt. We're going to hit and run. We're going to do all those things. We're building our team off of defense, speed. I mean, the A's were known for Ricky Henderson's and the Carney Lansford, who can handle the bats and do anything. And then they had the big boppers with the Bash brothers, but they had horses on the mound with Dave Stewart and hopefully Stu, we talked to Stu, he's going to be coming through. Hopefully JT can bring maybe Barry and some guys through. So these guys are going to have opportunity to hear from so many really amazing players, but our style is going to be very exciting. It's going to be action all the time with our team.
Very good, very good. Well, I want to give some of our members, some other attendees, some opportunities to ask some questions. So if you have any questions of Micah, if you could please raise your hand, and then we'll make sure that you'll be able to. It looks like I got a couple of things on here in the chat actually. Let's see here. We already went over the game, location. Somebody wants to be your mascot. I don't know if you want to do that one.
They were. How much do we have to pay them? Do they work for like peanuts? We're good, It's a startup. It's a startup now.
So how does somebody asked a question? Marlene had a question. Actually, I'll go ahead. I see it in the chat, but I'll let you go ahead and just take yourself off mute and ask that question, Marlene.
How does training? Is there spring training with Pioneer League?
Yeah, it's the kind of spring training I love. It's about 10 days.
And where will you be?
That's TBA right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of TBA.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions. We have options where to have it, what's going to be the best option, because it is only 10 days and we open on the road. We open in Glacier. So it's a little different if we were opening at home. We have those days. So yeah.
All right. We got Paul raised his hand. Paul. You got to take
mute. So Ben Lindbergh wrote about the Sonoma Stompers, and it only has to work. It only has to happen. The Sonoma Stompers had to work in a similar situation with a limited budget. I don't know if you've read that book. It's really good, but it's weird having to get a team like that and assess the talent, because there's not a lot of analytics behind it. So how do you assemble a roster like that?
Well, it's a lot easier than you think, because nowadays you can go on Baseball Reference and pretty much paint a picture. These players played in college. So if I had TCU, I can go on Synergy System and I can see videos. We can see the basics. We are not getting a player at 18 years old and develop that player like that. We're getting a player, and obviously we're giving him the information he needs, but we're winning. We're trying to win. We're trying to do everything we can to get that player into organizational baseball, but we're here to win. We're not here to lose. We're not here to give up wins to help develop the player get better. No, if he's not performing, he's not going to be able to play, unfortunately. So it's a little different than that, as you see in a draft system and paying millions of dollars. If I'm going in and a player at Auburn or TCU, Kent State, They hit 340 their freshman year. They hit 330 their sophomore year. They went to the Northwood leagues and they hit 280. Then they go in their junior year and they hit 330 with 14, and then had a bad senior year, their draft year or whatever, and maybe hit 290. Well, we give them a phone call and hey, what's going on there? Tell me about what happened. We already know. Usually draft years, some players just struggle because they try too hard. A lot of players say, hey, I heard I had to get more power. So I left who I am and I try to. It's really easier than you think without the big analytics. Just because we can see in between those lines, we have the basics. You got a guy who's got an on-base percentage of 430 in college with a 320. It's probably a hitter we want here. You know, maybe he's 5'9", so he didn't look flashy for the scouts. So a lot of our players maybe weren't the flashiest look. A lot of them are shorter. They're 6 feet. You know, they got in the draft 6'3", 6'4". They're giving so much money away. It's a little different now. So it was just way easier than you would think for position players. Pitchers are a little different because they're still pro days, they call them out, and they're trying out for all these teams right now. So for us, we talk to a lot of pitchers, but we just can't officially sign them until they either get picked up with a organization or they don't, and then they'll sign with us.
Mhm.
Henry, it looks like you got your hand raised.
Yeah, I was just curious, is there like limitations on your roster size?
Yes. So it's 25 players. Although there's 2 tryouts. If we will select, and we select number 2 in Florida, and we select number 1 in the one in Arizona, and that's the one in April. So the players have already gone to spring training who have gotten let go. So they can go to that tryout for the Pioneer League. And if we keep that player on the roster, we actually get to have 26 players. So it's worth it for us to keep that player on the roster.
Bill, it looks like you got your physical hand up, your real hand up.
Couldn't figure out how to do the other one. My question is, are you going to have some kind of a sign-up list and send out regular emails? Because I'd like to subscribe to that.
I believe they are
on
working
the
on
website.
all of that. Yeah. So the website.
Actually, you know what, Mike? I'll put that in the chat right now.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Right. And some of the other, tell us a little bit about some of the other teams that are going to be in the league. I know that there was one other expansion team that was just named too. So tell about some of the other locations.
So you have UC Davis. So the YOLOs, they will be playing at Davis's field. So they are actually also owned by our owners. So to have the agreement for the Pioneer, they needed 2 teams. So they have a team and we have a team. Obviously, we're the Oakland, we're a little bit bigger name and everything, but they actually announced and they'll hire to have a team. So it works very well. So a team can fly down, say Glacier can fly down and go there and then come to us or vice versa. Colorado Springs is in the league. They can do the same thing. It's easy for us to get there. Billings, Montana, you have Great Falls, you have Idaho Falls, Boise. So it really is a league a little different than Oakland. But it's kind of cool for us because we get to fly to everywhere we go. We don't have those long minor league bus rides. So it's awesome for us.
That sounds nice. That's good. I get Paul, you got your hand back up again.
I do. No one, the way players are selected now is not by where they play at college anymore. It's all these training college things that happen. It doesn't happen from college. It will never again. So how's that impact your selection of players?
Are you referring?
It's a revolution, right? Now,
yeah, you're referring to, so they're going analytical so much.
No,
and
they're actually playing traveling places.
Yeah, but they're playing in those. Each one of those tournaments send out a sheet. So even like now, when these kids go to their pro day, we get all the information, all the analytical information to us. So if you're saying, well, it doesn't matter where they play in college, get drafted.
It really doesn't. It's all on your traveling. It's started with Hayward and all these other guys that they slot themselves. They travel from high school on, and it really doesn't matter where they go to college. They get selected in the major leagues.
Yeah, well, they're good. They're really good.
I'm just saying that's the new world.
Yeah, it's a different world right now. There's no question. The old times, the scouts would go out there and the teams would really trust that guy because he has a PhD in that. Now the guys read a piece of paper with the analytical numbers and it's on steroids. I absolutely loved it. Back in the day, you're reading Bill James, you're reading, Baseball Weekly, you're reading all that stuff, but then they took it and put it on steroids now. And it's like you said, there's no more actual physical or, eyes on anymore. It's really, you got people that can read analytics really good and they have their own algorithms and think they're smarter than the system.
But my point being that they play in a different world. They don't play in the college. They play in a traveling group that goes from conference to conference to competition to competition.
Yeah, I mean, the guys we get is a little different, so we're lucky.
Yeah.
Tip, it looks like you got your hand up.
Thank you. Micah, can you talk about how you and leadership will gauge success? What is success going to look like this first year for you, the team, your players? How are you going to quantify it?
I mean, there's only one answer: winning. We win the championship. I mean, we're not here to get a participation trophy. We're here to win. We're here to bring Oakland back. Obviously, we want Oakland to thrive. We want a team. We want it like you can get up and close and personal with us and really be part of our family with our team. But we're not happy that you're part of our family and we lose and don't have put a good product out there on the field. We want to win. Our success is winning, period. Now, that's me as a manager. Ownership may have a different answer, but that's my job as a manager to win and show something for the community that we're here for you. We're not leaving, and bring something that people want to bring their family. That's the awesome thing about minor leagues. It's so family oriented. It's so welcoming versus major leagues is awesome. I love going to major leagues games too. But it's a different feel. And when you go to a minor league game, you're really in there with the players and you're part of it. And it's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Any other questions coming through here? This is kind of interesting. So, obviously you're based out of Arizona right now. And, how is it that you're kind of working, meeting the players and meeting your coaching staff, and how's that kind of process? Do you have regular Zooms, or how is it that you're kind of preparing as a group, as a leadership group, when you're putting together this roster and this plan to have this team?
Yeah, that's a great question. So technology is awesome, right? I remember when we first started playing, man, I was on those buses for like 10 hours, 12 hours, cassette players and a book, and sometimes your light didn't even work, so you couldn't read at night. AC if you were lucky, right? Then they invented these cell phones, right? And then they got computers, and you have to dial up and go with that. They're all over the place now. So you can be just like, I think COVID really helped everyone understand that you could be thousands of miles away, but you're still holding hands, and that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Any other questions for Micah? Marlene?
Some years ago, there were some women who played with the Sonoma Stompers. Would you think that the Ballers might have a woman player at some point?
Yes, I think so. I definitely believe the Ballers will have a woman player at some point, whether it's this year or another year, because they're getting better and better and better. And I think it shows it's a great message. I have 3 daughters. So, you know, if someone's good enough and they can be out there, they should have that opportunity. And I think it's a huge message. I will say Major League Baseball is
That
doing
is
a great
huge.
job now. In the minor leagues, they have trainers, they have staff, they have different things. So
Yeah.
it's open to everyone now. A little better, a little better.
Slow but sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Do we have any other questions for Micah?
I have a question, sort of, kind of. If I wanted to volunteer and be a mascot, could I do that?
That's above my pay grade, but look,
don't open yourself up to that, Micah. That might cause some problems for you.
I don't think they have one yet. So I would reach out to the Oakland Ballers front office. And that's what they handle. They handle those things. I'm more of the players and the, things like that. So.
I think that would be fun. I'm like,
I'm sure you would have a blast. Actually, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
you could be the unofficial mascot. We'll make sure we go to a few games.
Okay.
You could, an unofficial audition by just cheering really loud, Charles.
And
we'll always need bad boys.
Are they going to have hats and merch and all that out there too?
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Barbara,
where are they playing?
That was to be announced. That was originally going to be Laney, and we're trying to possibly Ramondi Park, which is near the 880, 580 junction, was a possibility as well. But he was saying earlier in the meeting it was still kind of to be determined.
Gotcha.
Well, that's my question. Could you spell it? I don't know anything about it, and I can look it up. I don't need anybody to explain it now, but could you just spell it?
It's I believe it's Ernie Ramondi. Ramondi, I believe it's RAIMONDI. There you go. See, I would have had it. That's why they have you pop some stuff in there and then all of a sudden it does it for you, But I believe the first name's Ernie, is that right? He is a baseball player.
That's right. It was actually named after Ernie. It was named after his younger brother because he passed away in his service in World War II. That's why. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Henry, you had another question?
Yeah, Mike, any thoughts on the recent Hall of Fame induction? I know it's, if not, it's all good.
No thoughts at all.
No thoughts.
Let me make sure he answers questions focused on the Ballers or his path.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to your team, man. It's cool.
Thanks so much. That's a safe answer. I'm not messing with those things.
So tell me about a little bit of the stuff you're working on right now, Micah. You're working with a few major league free agents, and you're doing some hitting instruction and assistance with some folks.
Yeah, we got to get one guy a job. He's trying really hard to get a job, so hopefully he gets his job. I hit with a bunch of guys. I was lucky enough to know these kids since their sophomore, junior year of high school. So we've known each other for like 15 years, and it's a lot of fun. It's Cody Bellinger, Cole Tucker. His younger brother, who I've known since he was 10, is Carson Tucker with the Guardians. Cole's now with Seattle. And Jamie Westbrook, who's signed with the Red Sox. He'll be going to big league camp with them. And, Jacob Nottingham, he's still a free agent out there. He's out there this year for the first year. And Jake Alou with the Nationals just flew in to hit with us today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and then he's flying back to New York. And a bunch of other people that come in and come out. So it's a bunch of fun. The other ones are the regulars. So we're still trying to get Cody that job. We're going to put some film out there on social media, see if someone will pick him up.
Yeah.
Or else it'll be a baller. No, he can't play
those posts.
What's that?
It's been fun watching those posts. Yeah, so follow him on social media if you don't follow him yet. He posts he gets some good stuff.
Yeah.
Did you have another question, Marlene, or?
It just occurs to me that there'll be announcers and there'll be scorekeepers, and lots of other associated opportunities for the Bay Area when you guys
Yes.
are here in town. That's wonderful.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I think when the final product is done, the stadium and the models will be shown, and when it's done, it's gonna be really cool.
Are the Ballers will there be a radio station that
Yes.
broadcast your games?
Yeah, there will be a radio. There will also, I believe, it gets streamed on the Pioneer, so I'm not sure what streaming
okay.
station it's on, but yeah, every game's streamed, and so yeah.
And I noticed that one person actually put the Pioneer League website in the chat. So I would imagine you'd probably figure out that streaming stuff if you were to go to that website in there.
Yeah, they'll have
Right.
it in there. And we'll have, as we get closer, we'll have more information, obviously.
And you can shop
Yeah,
at Oaklandish and get your
Yes.
jerseys and their
Oaklandish.
t-shirts and
Yeah, it is. Yeah, oaklandballers.com is the website, and they've been maintaining that website, and then they also have some social media stuff that they post on too. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to 2024. Well, I guess we're already in 2024.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to later in 2024 and visiting you guys. It should be good. Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. And it's gonna be kind of cool because the people that we will have as guests, a lot of the Bay Area people, it'll be a lot of fun to be able to come out and see them.
All right. Well, do we have any last questions for Micah before we let him go? I do definitely appreciate his time. And any other last questions or anything? All right.
Looks like Micah's hanging out with Marlene because they both have the same background.
It's the right background. I'm from I was born in the city, grew up in the city, but
Yeah.
you know, unfortunately, at some point I had to leave. Arizona worked out better for me when I played, and we stayed here. But I love San Francisco, so I love the Bay Area. It's where my heart is. I just want to say before I take off here, thank you guys so much for having me, especially on Sabre Day. It's pretty cool. I thought that was awesome.
Thank you
Anytime
so much
you guys
joining
are,
us.
I was gonna say, anytime you guys come to the game, make sure you let me know. Come early, hang out, because we really want it to be a really family fun place for everyone to really be a part of it, not just 30 rows deep. Because if you're in the first row at Coliseum growing up, you could be back there, so you're going to be really close to us, and we like that.
Oh, I actually had one additional question about the Pioneer League. Are they the rules that they now have in the Major League Baseball? Is that going to be part of that league as well?
For the most part, we're also the experimental league. So they're talking about some different baseball themes this year, universal baseball. We have two more cool rules that I am pumped and excited about. We have a re-entry rule for a runner one time and a re-entry rule for a hitter one time. I think is awesome. You can hit for the guy and send him back to defense. So it gives people a chance to actually play a little bit more, get regular bats. Also, here's the coolest thing. There's no extra innings. It's decided by a home run derby. One player, our team, one player, their team. And that's the coolest thing ever, I think.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to going to some games in 2024. We'll definitely put together a few group outings, and I'll definitely keep you in the loop on that and make sure to say hello prior to those games, Mike. I can't, I'm really excited about this. And look forward to, seeing you in action in 2024, man. Very good stuff.
I'm pumped. Thanks so much, guys.
All right. Well, everybody have a great night. Thanks again. And we'll be in touch on the next one. But again, thank you, Micah. I can't thank you enough. It's been a great evening, and we'll see you soon, man.
Sounds good.
We're looking
guys.
forward to it.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, everybody.